Hello friends, Intuitive Rene here, bringing you your Sunday Oracle reading. And as you can see, I don't have any cards on the table. I have not laid out any cards yet. Today I want to just really connect with Spirit and let Spirit bring through the messages that we need. And I do have a whole lot of decks on the table just over here that you can't see that I want to work through. And I'm working with a deck today that I actually don't think I've worked with before in my videos. It's a deck that I've kept for my own private practice. And it is the deck which is known as the Fairies Oracle. This is the guidebook for it. I don't actually have the original box for it anymore, so I've only got the cards in the guidebook, and it really is. So I brought the guidebook out so that you could see the deck, because it is amazing. If you are into fairies, you really need to look up Brian Froud, because he is just amazing, and his deck is awesome. So here is the deck. These are the backs of the cards, and we're going to shuffle and we're going to see what message do we have from the fairies today for each one of us watching on Sunday Oracle. We need a message from the fairies, please, for everybody concerned. Message of enlightenment, of hope, of inspiration, of guidance. Let's see the message that we get today. Just give the cards a nice shuffle if I can, just to make sure that we're getting a good shuffle in and making sure that Spirit are bringing us the exact message that we need today. Okay, and I think I want to take, let's go for this one over there. Right, I'm going to leave it there while I put these away. Running out of space on my table because I've got quite a few cards, and let's see what we get today. Oh, look at that. Isn't that gorgeous? Let's see if I can get it to focus. Look at her face, look at her wings, look at her chubby arms. Isn't she just the most beautiful little thing you've ever seen? And sorry, let me show you. It is card 14, and it is card 14, which is known as the Maiden, I think it is. The font isn't always easy to read, but this is the card of the Maiden. Because of the nature of this particular deck, and because the messages of in the book are really so specific, I am going to read to you the message that we have for this particular card today. So I am going to read it from the guidebook. And before I do that, let me just zoom in on the card so that you can see it clearly while I give you the message that she has for us. I think that's a bit clearer. At least you can see her gorgeous little face and her gorgeous little smile as I read to you from the book. So the Maiden Card 14 is about auspicious beginnings, birth, growth, joy, and hope. It says, from her crown of light to her star-jeweled toes, the maiden is pure joy. And if you've been watching my channel for a while, you'll know that joy is my thing. I believe everybody needs more joy in their life. So I do think for today, this is such a beautiful, beautiful message. It says, when she smiles, troubles melt. When she dances, flowers spring from the ground and burst into bloom. It is from the maiden that the pixies learnt the dance that keeps the other world turning, and probably our world too, for that matter. She is newly born every morn, and she carols her song of growth for all beings in all worlds. She sees the magic and the light in everything, and takes endless delight in it. Isn't that gorgeous? So just see the message that she has for us today. It says, the maiden signifies new beginnings and growth. You couldn't ask for a more auspicious card than this if you are beginning something new. Spontaneity, joy, growth, exhilaration, and promise for the future are all signified here. We must note also that in the early stages of any process, there is vulnerability and a need for protection, shelter, and guidance. But there is also a magical impetus towards a burgeoning growth. Trust the process, but take care of the details as well. The maiden is also the inner child who needs to be under the supervision of a competent adult in order for her to feel secure and loved. She is not happy when we spoil her. So consider what is growing in your life. Make a list of your hopes, your dreams, and your plans. Look for the growth within you and think about how you can cherish and nurture that. Bless the growth that you see around you. Isn't that just gorgeous? I think that is just such a beautiful message for a Sunday. And I know today's the 15th of August, which sort of marks the middle of the month, but even though it's the middle of the month, we are entering into a new week. There are beginnings there. I really feel like we're all coming to life. We're all stepping out from behind the shadows and stepping into the light and wanting to start creating a better future for ourselves. And I think this is exactly what she is telling us today. So our young maiden that we have here, she's telling us, get excited, get optimistic, get hopeful, look forward to an amazing beginning, a future, a life. So I'm going to zoom out, and then we're going to look at some other cards to confirm and add on to the message. Right, so we're going to push her over there just so that we've got a bit of space, but we're going to keep her on camera. And the next deck that I'm going to work with, we're sticking with some fairies today. The next deck I want to work with is this one, which is Healing with the Fairies Oracle cards. So now we're going to shuffle and draw on camera to see what other message the fairies want to add to our maiden message. What is the other message of guidance, inspiration, and hope that we have for this Sunday, the 15th of August, 2021. And that card over there looks like it's a good one for us. So let's see what we've got. Oh, wow. So first of all, just look at the gorgeous picture. Isn't she beautiful, sitting on a tree stump in front of a waterfall? I love the purple. You know me and my purple cards, or my purple color. And look here, she says, honoring your true feelings. So the message from the fairies is basically saying to you to honor your true feelings, to be aware of who you are, to be honest with yourself. I think first and foremost, be honest with yourself with what you're feeling, what you're going through, what's happening. But I also think it's talking about this maiden card over here, because it's really saying to you, yes, there are changes. Yes, there are new beginnings. Yes, it's a rebirth. And you need to get excited, but you need to also, if you're afraid, if you're nervous, if you're scared, if you're apprehensive, you need to honor your true feelings. Be honest with yourself. Don't feel vulnerable. Don't feel like it's a sign of weakness. Don't feel like it's a bad thing. If you honor your true feelings with regards to all the changes, look at her face. She is so honoring her true feelings. She is being completely honest about who she is, what she's feeling, and what she's going through. And I think that is just so important. And because honoring your feelings, honoring your true feelings is so important, the next deck that I want to work with is this one that says believe in your own magic. Amanda Lovelace. I love this deck. This deck is just, I mean, if it wasn't so big, I would use it probably every day, but it's huge. I can hardly get my fingers around it to give it a good shuffle. But let's see. So let's ask, message from Spirit, message from the angels, Oracle Sunday. What else do we need to know? Honoring our feelings and the rebirth and the new beginnings coming from the Maiden Fairy. Let's see what card wants to come through. I'm going to cut the deck over there, and I'm going to take this card straight off the top. And we have Homeward, and it says take yourself out on a date. So I do think, friends, what this is basically saying to you, the changes that are coming, the rebirth, the new opportunities, all of that's coming through for us. It's not about your family. It's not about your career. It's not about your finances. It's actually about you as an individual. And I know we, as human beings, we don't like to be selfish. We don't like to only think about ourselves. We're always thinking about other people. We're always considering everybody else's needs, wants, and desires. And when I look at this, the message that's coming through so far, so clearly and so boldly, is the fact that we need to honor our true feelings about ourselves, about our circumstances, about our lives. And we need to be more focused on ourselves, our home, and what really I'm going to call it our sanctuary. Okay, so your homeward sanctuary, and it says take yourself out on a date. What does that mean, take yourself out on a date? It means nurture yourself. It means honor yourself. It means get excited about the potential and the possibilities and all the new that's coming through for yourself. But you've got to honor your feelings, and it's okay to take a bit of time out to replenish your own energies. I love how she's standing at the doorway. She's looking out at her garden. She is honoring herself. She's dressed up. She's made herself all pretty. She's got her favorite cup of something there. And she's even got the birds coming through to connect with her and to tell her everything's going to be okay. I want to take a second card from the deck because I just am urged to. So let's just give it another little shuffle and see if we can pick another card from this deck. I'm loving this message that's coming through for us today, and it's such a perfect message for Sunday. Apparently that's the one that I'm taking. And the card we have, oh wow, okay, so here we have And this is what I love about this deck, is that we have people who are body inclusive. It covers everybody. Nobody is excluded, because that's what we all are. We're all uniquely fabulous in our own right. And look at her, disability and all. She's ready to slay her dragons. She is ready to face things that we would ordinarily be afraid of. And she is bold. I love her hair. She is bold, and she is ready to go and slay her dragons. Nothing and nobody is going to stop her. And again, who is she slaying those dragons for? It's not for anybody else, but it's for herself. She is slaying those dragons for her own benefit, for her own happiness, for her own protection, for her own peace of mind. It's not about anybody else. It's about her journey. And hasn't she already, by overcoming this disability, by overcoming her challenge, hasn't she already slayed her dragons? And yet she's prepared to go and do more. How many of us would do that? How many of us have the courage and the confidence to go towards the castle, to go towards the danger, one tiny little sword in hand, ready to fight, ready to tackle it? Most of us would rather just turn away, go in the other direction and hide. But we need to honor our feelings. We need to be open and excited for the changes, the rebirth, and recognize that it doesn't matter what you've overcome. It doesn't matter what you've already been through. It doesn't matter the challenges that you've already experienced in life. You need to take yourself out on a date. You need to honor your true feelings, honor yourself in your situation, and find your bravery, your courage, your conviction to stand up and face your biggest fears and your biggest challenges, because in that lies this rebirth. In this process lies this rebirth that we're all looking for, that we're all so desperately wanting in our lives right now. I want to just a reminder on this card. I just want to read another little paragraph from the book. And what she's saying to you is the maiden signifies, I'm just reading the first paragraph again. The maiden signifies new beginnings and growth. You couldn't ask for a more auspicious card than this if you are beginning something new. Spontaneity. I think that's a lot of spontaneity, okay? Spontaneity, joy, growth, exhilaration, and promise. I like that. And promise for the future are signified here. We must also note that in the early stages of process, there is vulnerability. And I think this is where the vulnerability comes in. There is vulnerability and a need for protection. These two is the need for protection, for shelter, and for guidance. But there's also magical energy towards growth. And that's what we have here. So even though you are a little girl facing these big dragons, understand that you have got protection, luck, love, on your side, and you are going to achieve, you are going to succeed at slaying those dragons. It says to trust the process, but to take care of the details as well. And I think that's exactly what she's doing. She's trusting the process. She's trusting that she's going to have spirit on her side, helping her to slay the dragons, but she has arrived with a sword, so she is taking care of the details. But you need to first admit to yourself, if we don't honor our true feelings, if we don't do this, none of this is possible. None of this these three, none of this is possible if we don't honor our true feelings. Okay, I'm going to just put those two cards like that. And what I've got as well, another deck that I want to use today, is this awesome deck. Again, one I don't use very often. So it's the Angel Answers Oracle, and I'm going to give it a shuffle and let's just see. So we're working with fairies and angels today. It's Oracle Sunday, and we're asking for a message around these beginnings, around this new opportunities, facing our fears, facing our feelings, being honest with ourselves, slaying dragons, and taking care of ourselves. What else do we need to know? Angels and fairies, what else do we need to know? Angel Answers, give us an answer. What do we need to know? And that one over there is the one that I want. So what we've got from the angels telling you that the situation will improve. The situation will improve. But again, I am going to say to you, the situation will improve only if you honor your true feelings. Recognize who you are and what you're going through. Can I do that? We'll see them nicely like that. Sorry, just trying to get them all to fit on the camera. So the beginnings, the new opportunities, the growth, the rebirth that is coming for you. You need to honor your true feelings, pay attention to your own needs, wants, and desires, but be brave, confident enough to face the dragons. And if you do that, your life situation, you will improve. Your situation, the situation will improve dramatically if you take the advice and guidance. So friends, it's Sunday. It's a day of rest. It's a day of recuperation. It's the beginning. It's the end of one week and the beginning of the next week. Take a moment to identify this in your life. Take a moment to honor your true feelings. Pay attention to yourself and recognize that you are the one in control of your own life, and situation will only improve if you pay attention to you. So today is a day of self-nurture, to take care of yourself, but to get excited and enthusiastic about the change, the rebirth, and the growth that is coming for you. Situations improving all around you. I love it. So friends, do have a beautiful, fabulous Sunday with love and blessings from my heart to yours. Until we connect again, take care.